You don't
All
have to
right,
put 'em
it's
on
11
yet,
o'clock
really.
Tuesday, and it's
Yeah.
time for Around the County with Nelson County Judge Executive Tim Hutchins. Good morning, Tim.
How you doing? Jim, how you doing today? Good to see you. Good to see you back. I haven't seen you for a minute.
Well,
I think you've been like an
started-
old bear. You got the hibernation of winter.
Well, you started your own radio show. I can't get you in on Bradford and Brooks.
Oh, I'll come. You just call me. I'll be there.
Okay. All
Anytime. I'll be there.
I didn't know if we would hit a Judge Executive overload with too much
Yeah,
Tim
no.
on the radio station.
Well, you might hear that comment from some people, but you're not going to hear it from me. But
All right,
we
Tim.
want to make sure that everything is, all the news and everything we've got, information sharing to the media. So
you
that's one of my main things why we want to do this, and everything else we've been doing Facebook Live on all the meetings, and just trying to do is be as transparent as we can in fiscal court. I don't think anybody's got anything to hide. I know I don't, and the magistrates on our end, we want to share as, whatever, anybody's got any questions, we want to answer them. And so today I got M.T. here, M.T. Harned with me, the District 3's magistrate representing that flooding area down there. All the disasters we've had, it's been a lot of time and energy and a lot of people down there working, but it's been pretty bad for a lot of people. So MT's here today, and 348-2222, 348-2222. That's the number they can call here, and or text here. And then we'll take as many calls and texts as anybody wants. You do not have to give your name if you don't want to. If you want to fuss or complain or raise hell, that's fine too. We're here to try to make things better. That's our ultimate goal. And then I want to thank Joe Hill's Power Sports for sponsoring this show very graciously. Because it takes money to do anything. So MT, I mean, and Roth, usually the one that pushes all these buttons, so we got Mr. Brooks here today, Jim Brooks. So we'll see anybody got any call-ins or any questions, or if you have anything, Jim, you can let us know and start out, or MT, if you want to start up any way you want to do it.
Well, Tim, first I want to appreciate the shout out that county government has on the front lawn of the courthouse, the old courthouse, recognizing national, the dispatchers, but it's National Telecommunicators Week to give a shout out to all the dispatchers, because they're kind of the guys behind the scene, but they're as much a first responder as any fire, police, etc. So they're
dispatch,
they're a critical link to.
Well, I mean, they are probably much the link. If you don't have a good dispatch center, basically everything else falls apart.
Right.
And you got to get the message out and calls, and so that's we've got they doing. As far as I can tell, they're all doing a good job. It's been
Tim, I also want to give a shout out to and I know with all this flooding and everything, the county crew still followed up on the bulky item pickup, because I was in the last section out Louisville Road, and they came and despite all the rain and how soft the ground was, they did a good job of getting everything taken care of and didn't tear up any right-of-way or any fences that I'm aware of. Anyway, they did a great job.
We won't tell you the rest of the story. They got wrapped up on the bulky item. Just to hit on that a little bit, we got wrapped up, I guess, Thursday of last week. What I call the regular routes throughout the county, and and then we'll get on that now, since you brought the bulky item up. And that's been a good thing, it always is, and so we will. We got fiscal court tonight, and we'll talk about it in court. But we've already pretty much told everyone that we're going to have another bulky item in the southern area around Boston, and as people get things out and get it out next to the road, same concept as the bulky item, and I'm guessing we'll talk about it, but we'll probably make a run next week And then we'll probably, skip a week and make another run, and we may make 2 or 3 runs down in that area. So we definitely got to be there for the community. And, if you got a bunch of stuff out next to and it ends up in the ditches and so, and you had another rain, it's going to end up down in the dang on creeks and rivers. So we got to stay on top of it, but we're going to be there to make sure we help support all these people that's had these disasters.
Also, a big thank you to fiscal court for allowing storm damaged debris from trees and stuff to be set out with bulky items.
Yeah.
Because we had quite a few big limbs off our own trees at home.
Yeah.
And that was a really good addition because we were able to haul it out to the road and have it disposed of without having to cut it up and haul it off.
That was a good deal, and we really stayed on schedule. You think all the trees and limbs that we picked up, and for us to stay. But, we've got a good crews, several good crews together, and it's worked out really well. And so 348-2222. Let's see if we get any calls or texts. And M.T., how many you getting much feedback down in yours so far? And
no, the feedback's been extremely positive. What emergency management, people that are involved in the rescue events from both fire stations from the city and county cooperating. I haven't had anything but positive. And it's a disaster. I rode around Keith Knob and some of the lower ends, and it's a pretty dire scene down there with stuff you'd never seen before out in the middle of the fields, houses that were completely wiped out. So yeah, it's pretty tough.
Well, Tim, I think it's a really good idea for the additional bulky item for these places that were hit with the flooding, because that generates so much debris. And trying to clean up is a tough task.
we have, and I'm getting my numbers right here, I think I'm right, we've added 2 more dumpster areas. We put out scattered around down in that area, and behind the Boston Food Mart, we've got a big, what I call dumpster. I'm talking about the big roll-off dumpsters.
Right.
And down at the Barktown Rescue, and then at the fire station. Then down there near Shady Lane, there's a place there. I think there's a little old church or something there.
Yeah, right as you turn on Shady Lane, it's on the left-hand side.
And then we've got, I added another one down on, they call it Walkabout Farms area down there. I think it's, Larry, whatever his name is, Larry Shanks, close to his place. We added another dumpster there yesterday. Then we added another one down at where the old Nelsonville, it used to be like a store area there. We added another dumpster there. So we've got them scattered around the community where people, most of them, as they get stuff brought out of their house, they throw it on a trailer or a truck or whatever they're doing. They can just take it and throw it in these dumpsters. And or they can put it next to the road. So it's, what I'm trying to tell people is if they, if you got it in your truck or trailer, go ahead and just haul it to the dumpster instead of throwing it off on the side of the road, and or go ahead and haul it to the landfill.
Mm-hmm. We got a call, Tim.
Yeah, that's fine.
All right, let me see if I can
this thing. How you do this?
hit all that.
Like that. M.T., what am I doing wrong here? That one there's not opening up.
All right. See, I got the. Just a second here. I'm trying to hit all the buttons.
That's it right there. I got it. Yeah.
Caller, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Oh, okay. I wasn't hearing you in my headphones, but I've got you now. All right, you have a question for Judge Executive Tim Hutchins?
Yeah.
Could turn that up. Hang on a minute, sir. Turn it up just a little bit on my ears. I can't hear much.
All right, try it now.
Yeah, go ahead, sir.
You hear me now?
Yeah, that's better. Go ahead. Thank you for calling.
I got 2 of them for you. I want to know about the cable ordeal, if you can answer that one. They lost 19 Barstown cable channel.
Barstown Cable 19, you said y'all lost it?
19 channels.
Yeah, that's BRTV. That's the radio station's channel.
We can't even watch that one.
Well, when they switched from when the city transferred ownership to to Spectrum, they dropped Channel 19, and they dropped I think 20, 21 channels total. But BRTV and Channel 19 was one of them, unfortunately.
Yes, Ingrid. I like watching my westerns.
Oh, I know. Grit, and I think Me TV also was one of them.
Yeah, and the other question I have, what about I know the State Road 509 from 245 to Louisville Road. They got holes all in the road, bad.
Yeah, it's pretty rough. I go down through there quite often. I've got to probably, I think, as far as state roads go right now, we've identified as probably the two worst ones that we know of and identified, and have talked to the state, is 509 and Harned Road. That's probably the two worst ones that I know of right now. Subject to Hagen, I know we're going to get some state money for a part of 509 or a part of Harned Road. It won't be enough to do it all. Matter of fact, I'm going to meet with Brad Spalding, county engineer, Friday. We're going to go over all these roads and see where we're at on the state money and county money. I just got an email this morning from the state, on our regular money we get through the gas tax, and so I'll have that a little bit more better analyzed. It's a winter. This past winter's been rough on these roads. I'm telling you, these shoulders after this flooding on top of it. Man, we've got a lot of them falling apart. We've got Woodlawn Road out there in Adams District, the old Woodlawn Road. Mm-hmm. It looks like a little earthquake went right down the middle of it. It shifted and settled 15 inches on one side. Wow. We got it shut down. We got one out on Spalding Lane in Harrodstown where we got a big landslide. It's affecting a house up there, a neighbor. And we've got that road shut down, and then we've got one in, what's the other one out in John Snow's district up on, I can't remember the name of the road now. That whole road is shifted. We're going to have to relocate that road. It's some way, and it's, I'm talking about several millions of dollars here, so.
Yeah.
Don't know if, we're hoping the state and FEMA and all this stuff comes through, but it's been a lot of, we're just going through it all in the shoulders. We had the railroad over in Boston, that railroad, I don't forget what address that was, M.T., that they had to shut that down. The water got up, and when it came back down, pulled all that rock underneath of it.
Well, I'm sure of that.
It's pretty widespread. I mean, when we say Boston and area, but that's what I keep telling everybody. It's widespread countywide. It's not just Boston. And this past winter, it's been a nasty old winter, freezing, thawing, and ice, and
then we added the flood right on top of it. Two of them.
Yeah, that's been terrible. And so I should. I don't know exactly where our money's gonna go and how much. I did get $333,000 more from the state. I do know of at. I'll announce that tonight on two particular roads. We got that as a state. Then you got the 509 and then the Harned Road. That's what they call rural secondary roads.
Yeah.
There's different pools of money, different pots of money. So we'll find out how far we can go with it. But it's definitely there's a lot of them in bad shape. There's no doubt about it.
Well, I appreciate it. That's all I wanted to
Hey, that channel, let's go back to those channels. I've talked to the mayor about this a little bit.
Okay.
And some of these different channels. I know M.T., what is it, Me TV?
Me TV.
And that's for the old people like you and Grit that's watching.
I want my grit. That's the only thing I want.
Well, I know, I was going to say, but people like you that's retired and don't have nothing to do, but people like me, we don't see all that every day, so, yeah, so, but actually, you can get that, and there's several channels you can get. If you put that antenna up, they got that little internal antenna that you can hook on the back of your TV now.
Yeah.
You stick it on there, and I know a lot of people that's already done it before this, and you can pick up, I know you can pick up Grit real easy at MBTV.
What's it called, do you know?
What's that?
What's it called, do you know?
Well, they're just
it's like it's not really the outside when I say antenna. They got these new high-powered internal antennas, and you got it tied into the back of your TV, and I know several people's done it, and I know people probably like you probably just disconnect everything and get that free antenna. It's
sounds good to me.
but it works pretty good.
It does.
It does work pretty good. All right, we'll see you. Thanks for calling.
All right, thank you.
all right. Thanks for calling. All right, Judge, we got a couple of text messages
You
here.
see these people, I know their voices, Jim, so I knew that individual, see, I could tell. So I can giggle them every now and then. Some text messages.
All right, one caller or one text says is asking for a fire hydrant on Hollywood Drive down near the end. But I don't know if that's I don't know if that's in the county or not, is it?
Yeah, I'll find out.
All
if
right.
it is. I don't know if they, just to answer that question, first thing, you gotta have a 6-inch, it's gotta be a 6-inch water line to get a fire hydrant. You can't be on a 4-inch line. You can put overfills and fill stations, but you can't put what they call a true fire hydrant. But I will find out. We have, I've worked with these different water districts, mainly North Nelson, over the last several years, even back when I was a magistrate, and we put fire hydrants, try to scatter them as far as we can to help out. So that's Hollywood Drive.
Yeah, that was Hollywood Drive.
Okay, so whoever this is, we will address that, and I'll try to bring that information back next week and let you know what we can do.
All right, got another text question for you, Judge. Text ask is let's see, what street is it? Church Street in Fairfield. Is that a county road, or is that responsibility of?
Church Street.
Yeah,
I think I'm 99% sure that's the city of Fairfield Street.
Okay, all right.
And what are they asking? It needs some attention.
Yeah, it's got some potholes in it.
We have done a tremendous amount of work in Fairfield through interlocal agreements, as well as New Haven and the cities of Bloomfield.
Right.
We have to, by law, be very careful what we do in a city limit situation. So,
okay.
But we have in Fairfield. I'll have to check on Church Street. I think it's on my. I didn't bring my. I asked all these cities to send me a budgetary request of what they, kind of a wish list, what they need and want and desire, and I think Church Street is on there. And then I'll work with Senator Higdon and County Mastroni to see what we can do for them as far as blacktop.
All right, we got a call. All right, let's go to our
Excuse me,
phone.
go ahead.
All right, good morning. You're on with Judge Executive Tim Hutchins.
Yeah, I got a question. When they put that new cable line in out through they ran into Bardstown, well, they came through my back field, and they tore it all up where they drove their trucks, and they kept telling me they're going to come back and replace it, patch it. Yeah, they never have it. I call up there about every other week, and we got a man going to come out there and do that. I mean, how long does it take them?
Yeah, well, it's not a county, we're not in the cable business, but I'll help you get this orchestrated, I guess. You have an address?
590 Hugh Ice Loop. And because it's in the back right where all the power lines go, and I'll keep it all cut and trimmed down for them. But when they make those ruts, you start trying to cut grass back there, I think they'll kill you in those doors.
Oh, I understand it completely, yeah. And I don't know when or whatever they've done there. Is this for what, internet or cable or electric?
It's been about 4 months when you pull all them new lines back through here.
Is it cable TV or is it electric?
No, it's cable. It'd be in the cable and internet.
Okay.
And when they did it about 2 years ago, they did the same thing. I ended up having to pay to have a guy come in and grade it all and fill the holes in. I'm not doing it this time.
Okay. All right, I'll reach out to that department. That's not under the county umbrella, but I will help you.
Oh, yeah, I understand that.
Right. I will definitely reach out and do we have a contact number there? Is that on the text? Can you give me your number? You don't have to give me your name.
Yeah, 643-3154.
3154.
Yeah, 502.
Yeah. Well, me or somebody get back with you probably today on this or tomorrow and get an answer. Now, to defend whoever, it's been a pretty nasty winter. I don't know when they did this.
I understand all that, Even times when I called, they had a couple weeks of good weather, and even if they come up and tell me, hey, we are going to get out here, but I've never seen nobody out here or nothing. Nobody's came knocked on the door and said, well, we're going to fix it.
Okay. All right, thank you for your call. We'll stay on top of it.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you for your call.
Thank you.
All right, Tim got a text message asking what's being built across from Handy Food Mart.
It's a car wash.
Okay. All right. Got another text. Somebody wanting to get your opinion on, let's see, Four Roses has a project out on 509, I think.
509, there's been I have not seen, I know, what I do know is basically through just talk and gossip about Four Roses has got an option on some land on 509.
Right.
But as far as any authentic, I have not seen an application, in other words.
Okay.
I did talk to Sean Moore at the Planning Zoning, and he has been working with, I guess, Four Roses or their entity about working, and they're supposed to be meeting with people there. As far as having any, I don't know if they've actually filled out an application. I think they've went through the first step because we passed those new rules year and a half, 2 years ago. They have to go through and get the PUDs, and
Right.
And it's basically opened it up. Without that thing that we had passed and all that battle that we went through, they would be able to go in there and build wherever they want to do, anywhere they want to do it. If they had 100 acres, and nobody would have any discussions about it public-wise at all. But now the public does have the opportunity to have public hearings, and they have to meet with the neighbors and so on, and buffers and tree lines and all this kind of stuff. So
Right.
without what we did, none of that would be happening. But
Right.
but this particular application, I have not seen any application. It's telling you what I've heard too. So,
Right.
and I don't know if it's going to go forward or if they've poured it. But they do have an option on some ground down there, is what I was told.
Okay.
But I
All
haven't
right.
seen it.
All right. There's a second part of that, but we got a caller on the line right now.
That's fine.
All right. Let's go to the phone line. Good morning. You're on the air with Judge Executive Tim Hutchins.
Yes, sir. I was also inquiring about the Four Roses purchase of the property on Sullivan and 509.
Well, I don't. If you heard, did you just hear what I said, or did you not hear me?
I heard a little bit. I turned the radio down so that it wouldn't interfere with our conversation.
I haven't seen an application myself yet. I do know they have been talking with planning and zoning, and
Will you be attending the meeting at St. Gregory? I'm a property owner, and I butt right up to that property, and I'm strongly opposed to it. I just wondering if you'd be at that meeting as well.
I haven't even got notified there is a meeting. See, I haven't seen an application or anything to me yet.
Well, I think there's just a few of us. Nobody on Sullivan Lane actually knows about it, except for the very few people that actually butt up against the property. There's a meeting at St. Gregory Thursday at 6:30 p.m., I believe.
This Thursday?
Yes, the 17th.
Okay.
Now, is this a meeting sponsored by the distillery, or is this just a neighborhood group meeting?
No, this is a certified letter I had to pick up at the post office.
Okay.
So that's part of that. So what you're talking about is
Yeah.
what we put in place when we passed those new regs that allows the neighbors to get involved and to be notified, and they got to have what they call a neighborhood meeting
Okay.
by the applicant, which in this
Right.
case would be Four Roses. So they send out letters to everybody that I guess that joins them within so many feet or whatever. I don't have that document in front of me, but like I was telling earlier, without us passing those policies that we did, people like you and anybody else down there would have no say at all.
Right.
Now they do have a say in public hearing, and there's a lot of knowledge that will be explained. I think there's only one. Let me think about this. Since we passed that law, I think we've had one zoning that's came to us, or really not zoning, it's PUD. It's at Heaven Hill out on Louisville Road. I
Right.
think that's the only one. And they had to
What
do the same
exactly? What
thing.
exactly is the PUD? Could you?
Plan unit development.
plan, okay.
Yeah. It's still tied into zoning, but it's a different, I guess, division. It's same, it goes under the same umbrella, really, in my opinion, but it's a different type of zoning, as you would say.
So I'd speak to my magistrate about the zoning.
You could speak to your magistrate about it, but if you're having this meeting on the 17th, like I say, I have it, and the magistrates have it, unless they got something I haven't, is an actual official letter knowing that they have a, I don't know if they've applied, maybe they have applied, and that's the reason this piece here came in play.
Okay.
But I do know they talked to planning zoning, and I talked to Sean Moore about it because I've heard the rumors and people talking out there. But until we get an official application, and when they get it, when they want to go through the process of getting the zoning requirement, I don't get a copy of it. So I didn't even know about this meeting, to be quite honest about it. It may be a little glitch there that we probably need to be, it'd probably be important that we get notified about these things. So it may be something we need to add in our policy.
I think the rest of the neighbors on Sullivan Lane should also have to be notified, not just the properties that back up to the adjoining proposal.
Well, at that meeting, you can bring up anything you want, and we'll document it, and I'll make sure somebody's there to document it. And I don't know at 6 o'clock.
All right.
Make sure we document, because anything, and my big thing has always been anytime we pass any rules, laws, we've tried to eliminate and clean up a bunch of stuff since I've been the judge, and because MT, the magistrates, I think one of our goals has been is to clean up and simplify a lot of stuff, but we got to be willing to look and see what needs to be corrected. If some language needs to be added to these things, we need to do it, because I think our ultimate goal is to protect the citizens and make sure that you have input of what's going on in your area. So.
Yeah, definitely. I don't think any of the citizens around here want that here.
And what time did you say the meeting was at?
That meeting was, the letter says it's at 6:30, April 17th at St. Gregory.
Is that in the parish center, I'm assuming?
I'm not exactly sure what is the center or what actually building it'll be in.
Okay.
Yeah, I would say it'd be in the gym there behind it. They call it the parish hall, or not the parish hall, but the parish center, the gym behind the office complex. Right. I would say that's where it's at.
All right.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you for calling.
All right.
Thank you, sir.
Thanks for calling. All right, Tim, I didn't know anything about that. Of course, I'm not an adjoining property owner, but that does bring up a good question. I mean, the regulation is adjoining property owners only. And I know that from previous hearings, it affects more than, a lot of people would be interested in knowing about this meeting, I think.
Mm-hmm. So. I think if some of those bylaws or rules needs to be expanded, but
yeah.
With planning and zoning, if it's traditional zoning like a B3 or a B4, whatever,
right?
They got a statute, KRS 100, they have to follow. And some of that, actually, I've had a discussion on another one. People's asked me they didn't get a letter. I've heard they didn't get a letter. This didn't get a letter, but they don't have to send out certified letters. And I don't know if you know or not, but I've had a lot of complaints. People want me to get involved with the post office because the way the mail's being delivered in a timely fashion. We run into it right up here at fiscal court, and I'm talking to the treasurer, Rhonda, and it's when we get bills, when we send checks out, and they said they call you and say, "We're sending your thing back. You're late," or whatever. So it's part of it. So the certification side of it, a certified letter versus a regular letter, I personally think they should have a certified letter go to them, so they will be notified. So there's but there's always that's something we can always change and adjust and hopefully make better.
All right, another call, Judge. All right, let's go to the phones. Good morning. You're on the air with Judge Executive Tim Hutchins.
Okay, I live up here on McIntyre Lane.
Yes, sir.
East, and it's a chip seal driveway, and it's falling apart. it's been falling apart for the last 2 years, and nobody's done anything about it.
It's a chip seal. It's not a driveway. You talking about McIntyre Lane, the road, county road?
Yeah, it's a county road.
Yeah, you said driveway. That maybe threw me off for a minute.
Well, I call it a driveway. You got to come back there at my house.
Yeah.
But in the middle of it, in the cul-de-sac, it's got a big hole there where it goes. The water goes underneath the road, and it washed it out, and it's getting bad. I can't mow it down where it goes. I like to keep it neat and clean up back there.
Well, there's a pothole that's in you said in the center of the cul-de-sac?
Now the pothole ain't. It's about 100 feet from McIntyre Road when you turn off on McIntyre Lane East.
McIntyre Lane East. All right.
Yeah, they changed all that when McIntyre Winery come in here.
Yes, okay, yeah,
But it is a county road.
right. So the chip seal, I'll look at it. I mean, that's, I'm not trying to say that we have blaming anybody, but I do know that we've got a lot of roads, like this gentleman called earlier. We've got a lot of roads through this past, especially this winter. It's been freezing, thawing, and water and ice, and it's been rough on these roads.
Oh, it's been probably 5 or 6 years since you chip sealed it, if not longer.
All right, I'll get that on the radar, and I'll have somebody look at it.
All right, I appreciate it.
Now, it won't happen overnight now because we're working on all this flooding mess right now, so we have to give us a little time to get out and do some damage control. All right, thank you, sir.
Yeah.
All right, thanks for
calling.
calling. All right.
Jim, you had another follow-up question on a text you said.
Yeah, the text was actually talking about the Four Roses proposed project, and we just the text mentioned what are your thoughts on a foreign-owned corporation building rick houses or planning to build rick houses, in Nelson County. Obviously, this person's not happy with the plan, but I don't know how many. A lot of our distilleries are foreign-owned. Or have foreign investment.
I don't know. Everybody's got opinions, I guess, on it. We got, you take what's going on in the White House, if we get more stuff made in this country and try to force people to do more things in this country, and I'm all in favor of it. But foreign-owned companies, I think our Constitution allows that. And a lot of distilleries, but not just distilleries. I mean, I guess you got Takigawa, you got some of these Toyotomis and a lot of these other places that are, they got a lot of foreign ownerships throughout, and I couldn't name them all here, but that's pretty widespread, nationwide, countywide. Me personally, if a guy owns a company and he's selling it out and he's trying to make a living and somebody offers him a lot of money, I just don't think the elected officials can stop that private enterprise. When it comes to, but they employ a lot of people. Most of these, you got a lot of good high-paying jobs. If he's particularly talking about Four Roses, they got a lot of employees and a lot of high-paying jobs, and whether they're owned by foreign or local, I think that's the important piece of it. They're paying their taxes and they contribute to the roads and everything else. So I do have a problem with the communist countries coming in and owning things and buying land in this country. That disturbs me personally as much as anything. There's been a lot of states have stopped that. China, for example, buying up land around some of our Army depots and buying land up and down where all the waterways, you look at all the waterways around the country, and that's where a lot of them's buying this land up because the water rights, there has been some states that have stopped that. That's what I've read. I don't know. I think the state of Kentucky looked at that, but when you got a communist country coming in without any freedom in their country and buying up American soil, I do have a problem with that, but that's probably a little bit higher than my pay grade. That's that's not a local rule. I don't know if it is or not. Maybe we can pass something locally that says If you're not a Democratic run country, you can't buy land here. I don't know, but I'll look at it. I'll look into it.
All right, the number is 348-2222. It's a studio line, and if you have a question for Nelson County Judge Executive Tim Hutchins or Magistrate M.T. Harned, he's in here in the studio.
Yeah, I've been doing a lot of talking, a lot of phone calls today, more than so much. I'm grateful I like it. But MT, let's talk about the flooding in Boston. That's one of our main concerns having you here today. And like I said, we've got our groups, EMAs out there. Assistant EMA Director Candy Mastroni has pretty much lived out there, and we do know there's a lot of work to be done, and we're definitely here. MT, you want to elaborate on that?
Well, my hat goes off to every person, individual, families that have contributed their time, that live in and around the Boston area. Those families that were affected are definitely in need. There's still plenty of items that they're needing. I'm taking a load of pallets out there this afternoon so they can put the belongings on, as well as some of the donated items as well, to move them around a little easier.
Well, MT, is there a list of additional items that are wanted or needed at Boston?
I know there are. I know the Boston Community page has posted some of those additional needs.
That's on Facebook?
That's on Facebook.
Okay.
I know some of the people in town here, I think they're still available to drop them off at the Civic Center. Mm-hmm. Is that where it's at? So there's still, plenty of things, and that's where I would reach out to see exactly what items, if you're trying to be specific.
Right.
And they're still taking monetary donations, I think, with the Bardstown Baptist Church, I believe.
That's correct.
Yeah.
I was talking to my director today, Brad Metcalf. He's got you can't hardly talk. He's been sicker than hell on top of everything else. So we've taken, if you go to the Nelson County Fiscal Court's Facebook page, or anybody can call here or this number. They can text me, call me direct, and I'll put my number 2490816, 2490816. Office number is 348-1800. I think the most important number I'm going to give out here now is it's 502-357-3409. 502-357-3409, and that will go to Catherine. She's our one of our financial directors, and I've given her the task of working with Brad Metcalf and John Hendricks on the EMA, Michael Reynolds on the EMS, dispatch, Sean, and that number, anybody can call that number, and she'll get you in the right direction, or they can call the office, 348-1800, and she'll talk to Catherine. Because there's so many different pieces of this pie. I mean, you've got the FEMA side, you got the insurance side, you've got the Kentucky Emergency Management, we've got the volunteer side. What my main goal from day one has been, we want to make sure that everybody gets the right resources. Mm-hmm. FEMA, the president, the governor, the mayors, county judge, we've all declared emergencies, state emergencies. It starts the process. The individual assistant's got to come through FEMA. There's one more declaration that has to be done. There's a certain level of threshold, and it gets complicated and very confusing. I've learned a lot myself is once they make that declaration, and then people can get what they call individual FEMA assistance. And a big important piece of that is to make damn sure that everything's documented. If you have insurance, call your insurance company. Let them come out and do their assessments, and you can use that data. Mm-hmm. You can start your process. Cleaning up's one thing, but start tearing out your drywall and furniture and refrigerator, anything that's ruined, document everything you've got. And when FEMA does make this declaration, we want to make sure if there's any extra money out there that they get it. So that's been my and most of my people's biggest concern. You got to get a floodplain permit. Brad Spalding's our floodplain coordinator, county engineer. There's a possibility if you hit over 50% level that they have to. They could condemn the whole property. So there's just a lot of things, but the main important thing is, without me going through it all, it's called 502-357. 357 again is 3409. But we don't want to leave anybody out, and we've got all kinds of people down there working and helping. And if I mention all of them's name, I'd leave somebody out. So I mean, we've had, like MT said earlier, the fire department's scattered from several places. We've had Red Cross has been very good about helping us. The National Guard. Yeah, we've had all kinds of church groups, just on and on and on, and different organizations. And so behind Boston Food Mart there, that's where we got all the trailers set up, and all the stuff given away. We had tons of volunteers, and they can go on the Fiscal Court's Facebook page and see what we're asking for, what we need, and as this thing gears down somewhat, we'll have, and we'll announce that. We may talk about that at court tonight. We'll probably get everything geared more to the Boston Community Center eventually, and they've been very gracious about helping over there too. So, but there's a lot of pieces to this, and it's widespread damage. When I say this is not just Boston, because like I said earlier about these other roads. There was a tornado that touched down in off Potter Shop, the F1 tornado, and I had two gentlemen in my office just to make sure any kind of help they can get. And one individual that tore a bunch of his property up, and there's about 3 or 4 down through there that it hit. Not as bad as this one individual, but so we got to try, we're trying to make sure they get help. This one house is sliding on this hill down in Harrodstown. It's kind of breaking in half, It's so it's widespread. It's not just a Boston area. It's a lot of things.
And some of the flood damages even bothered people in town that's not even in the flooding areas. I mean, basements that have never leaked before. I've been contacted, with basements flooding that they've never seen flood before. So that just the amount of water, that amount of saturation has affected a lot of different people.
Judge, I got a question by text. They're curious what's being built on Boston Road out by McCubbin's Lane. I think there's some construction underway there, maybe. I don't know if you had any insight on what's.
Do you know what that is?
I don't know what that is. I did see that.
On the left side going to Boston?
Yeah, left
over
side.
A bunch of dirt? I don't know. Well, somebody else asked me that question. I seen them doing it, but I don't know if they're building a pond or lake or stripping out topsoil. I'll be honest, but I don't know. I just don't know what it is.
All right, well, maybe somebody who lives out there can text us
wetlands
the answer.
Area there. I don't even know whose farm that is. I came by there and I've seen it.
I've driven by there several times and not seen any of the equipment moving. So I've never seen it being active. But
yeah, they started on that last fall, didn't they? When it was dry, because it's been a nasty winter. I don't know but I don't know really what they're doing. I'm sure if they have disturbing any blue line streams or anything, you got to get permitted and do all that. But to be honest, I can't answer the question.
Okay. All right. Well, Judge, we got about 12 minutes.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So I'm sure you got more to cover.
Well, this, getting Magistrate M.T on here today because it affected his area, more so than anybody's. And, every week I'll try to have, I want to try to get, and I gave a list to one of my clerks up there last week, and she's going to be notifying different people throughout the county and magistrates and elected officials, firefighters, and to have on this radio show so we can continue to get messages and information out to the public. That's our ultimate goal here. I probably can't stress enough that basically there's been several people that's because they live with their neighbors, friends, family, and someone's been misplaced or displaced, and there's several of them living in hotels, and County Master Only's been helping with that. Michael Reynolds is the one that's basically taking care of that piece of it for us. He's our EMS director. Michael's wife, Christy, has really donated a lot of time down there, as well as some others. She's really been instrumental about helping manage. My wife, Gina's done a lot of work down there as far as helping get the volunteers, especially the first several days when we needed them. And she's contacted a bunch of people. We started out at the Civic Center, and but they can still bring stuff to Civic Center. They can bring it there. I'm going to probably reach out to a lot of the other churches here. This is Holy Week, Easter week, and hopefully everybody can
focus on, what the purpose of it is, because we could be in a hell of a lot worse shape. And we did lose one life that the first night, 3 o'clock in the morning, a lady rode off the ramp, and I don't know exactly what happened because she passed away. And but we've only lost one life throughout all this. We've rescued 66 people, I think, 66 different places. We think we've identified about probably close to 60 homes that people are not in, or they've been out, that's basically can't get in. We had it up a little higher, but we think some of them might have just a little bit of water up close to their house. So you try to look at the mapping. So we're confident there's about 60 homes that people can't get back into yet. But like MT said earlier, a lot of homes scattered out. It might just be water got in their basement, which is not an uncommon thing, and not just here. So when they get pumps in, the pump stopped up, natural drain stopped up, what have you. So
Right.
It affected some people a lot worse than others, but but we've been really, really lucky that we only had lost one life, and she drove into it. It was like 3 o'clock in the morning, and I don't know. Nobody know what happened, but the good Lord is exactly why it happened. But it happened. So, but we've had a ton of people helping. There was 3 or 4 days that water was rising down the New Haven area, Boston area is rescuing people in boats, and it's really pretty amazing. To be honest about it, we've had people coming from all over the state, other states.
Right. Right. But, I just want to make the announcement that the video of this program will be available. It'll be posted on Facebook for the Nelson County Gazette, WBRT, and my personal Facebook page, and I'll share a link, of course, with Nelson Fiscal Court.
Yeah. This show, when we started, it's probably been about 8 or 9 meetings now, and when we started this, and then Jim's been gracious enough with the Gazette and all the social media, we're putting it out there, and just like today, we've had, I've had more phone calls today than I've had since I started, so we're getting more people knowing about it and interested about it, and it's good to know, because we don't know. We go out and check and monitor, like some of these things they ask for on here. Try to give out information on our ends, but if you just don't know, you don't know.
Right.
So it's pretty helpful. So especially this one gentleman that want to watch Grit TV, and I told him he can get it free. My old buddy up in around Bloomfield. I won't mention any names. That St. Gregory meeting, that's kind of interesting. So we're trying to improve on everything we can do countywide, every single minute, and that's what we're trying to do. We don't leave anybody out. We don't have a magic wand. We can't do anything, magically. I mean, it takes a lot of money, a lot of resources. When you come to this money, you talk to Senator Higdon and Candy Mastroni, my goodness. I mean, it's, I just, that one road he was talking about earlier, going from 245 all the way to High Grove 48. There's 2 sections of 509. It's right at $800,000 just to resurface now. It's not counting shoulders. So you're right at $1 million. Hyerstown Road in the Nelson County side of it, and it's getting bad. I mean, I'm not sitting here telling everybody, and it's not like we don't know about it, but just the Nelson County portion of it is going to be over $1 million, about $1.2 million, just for that piece.
Right.
And everybody's got their hands out. And go ahead, Jim.
All right, we got another phone call. Let's see if I can hit all the right buttons again. Whoop. Let's see. Well, somebody.
They hung up on you?
No, they're. I think somebody else is talking to them. All right, we'll wait a second till we get them on the phone.
I am on this. My EMA director for the county is Brad Metcalf.
Oh yeah.
And he's done an excellent job. And John Hendricks is his assistant, has done an excellent job. John also works for the EMS. Brad also is an assistant county judge.
All right, we got the.
And go ahead.
All right, you're on Around the County with Judge Executive Tim Hutchins. Good morning.
Yeah, Tim. Like I said, I know it sounds a little petty, compared to some of the stuff that's going on, but we got a few potholes out on Jim Clark Road that's pretty bad. I mean, you hit them things, they're 2.5 inches deep or something, and it jars your vehicle pretty good.
You got any shocks on your truck?
If I do, they ain't real good no more.
Not after that.
Yeah, that's what, my truck.
And there's not many. There was a couple, and they filled a few of them, a couple months back. But there's, and I understand the weather and stuff. It brings it out, them holes and stuff. But
oh yeah, Jim Clark Road.
There's a few, yes, sir. There's a few on there that could use some patching for sure.
Okay. All right, man. I appreciate the call. I'll get on to this. Turn all these in.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
All right, thanks for calling.
Our truck's 15 years old, Jim. All these other people got all these new fancy trucks, and my shocks wore out, so I hit them potholes. That's what I tease them about. But anyway, back to that. I want to say I want special, and I hate it doing this because I know I'm going to leave somebody else, but Brad Metcalf has done an excellent job coordinating everybody, and then he's got just a lot to do. And he's not feeling good on top of it. And then John Hendricks has been a trooper, and Michael Reynolds, the EMS director. I go back to Sean at the dispatch. He's done a lot with the dispatch side of it, his team. When I say these names, it's all their teams, too. And Christy, Michael's wife, like I say, she's been down there volunteering a lot of her time. Then we got Missy in there under the, she's working under the EMS, Missy Lanham. So then we got tons of volunteers, like say Catherine and Gina, my wife, and then Catherine. She's been spending. We was up there at the courthouse all weekend, really, and back at Boston. This has been a daylight to dark situations and 7 days a week, so nobody is let up. I mean, it's not like they've been going home at 4 o'clock and turning the radios off. So it's been they put in a lot of time. And I wanted to thank them all for that. I was in Boston. M.T. was there. My buddy there, he said, Judge, I've never seen as much support in this Boston community, and I've lived here my whole life. You know who I'm talking about.
Exactly who you're talking
about. He said, for the judge and the magistrate and the representative coming here on a Sunday afternoon to spend time down here, I've never seen that happen in my whole life, and I want to thank you for that. And so it was very, pretty humbling to hear that, and they thank you, and I think most people do appreciate it. I know we can't, like I said, we can't hit the magic wand. And I made a couple comments to him I won't bring up here, but as far as leadership goes, but he, anyway, it's good to hear that, and I think there's been just so much support. It's been really, really good. We've had, the sheriff's department and Raymond and his crew as far as patrolling and helping out, and our road department. I know I'm going to leave somebody out here in a minute. Brad Spalding and Chris Martin at the road department and all their staff.
I want to thank the jail and the inmate program, too, for delivering bags.
Oh, yeah.
Sandbags.
Inmate program, sandbags, and filling bags. Justin's and his team down there, Justin Hall's team. So it's been there's been a lot of support throughout. Who to leave out? I know somebody.
No. We're about out of time, Judge.
Yeah, that's fine. That's Joe Hill's Power Sports. I want to definitely thank them and for sponsoring this show. And then Roth has helped. He usually monitors some of these buttons, and he's going to teach me how to do it here next week or so. Then Jim to come in, and then your little buddy, because I think you kind of missed up last week. You overslept.
I was supposed to be here.
I think you kind of slept in.
No, I wasn't asleep. I didn't. You were so dependent on our phones, and if I don't have it on my schedule on my phone, it doesn't exist. So
I know.
It's totally slipped my mind.
It's gotten. I swear, if I didn't, I don't know what we do without it. And so I just want to thank everybody, and they can call anytime, and they can text throughout the week 348-2222 and leave messages for the following week. Thank M.T. for coming on today. he's been working with people, that area. They can reach out to MT, and if we
And
miss.
call me direct if they need to at 270-307-0974.
All right.
And then the other thing, Jim, is the most important thing I'll leave here today is anybody has anything they need, call, which you can call 348-1800. That's an easy number to remember, 348-1800. But call 502-357-3409, 357-3409. And that'd be Catherine, they will get you in the right direction to the right people. Thank everybody for what they've done, and thank you, Jim, for having us on here today.
Yes, sir. All right, well, let's hear a message from Joe Hill Power Sports. Thank you, Judge.